That's a small boombox. Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. Yeah. This is a Sony Walkman WM-GX221. It's a Walkman. It's got a cassette player, both spindles, fast forward and rewind. It's got a tuner, AM/FM stereo tuner. It's also got a record function, and it has stereo speakers mounted on the front. It's got that perfect 80s aesthetic boombox, but in your pocket as a Walkman. So going around the controls on this, starting on the left hand side you have the mic jack, and this will accept a stereo signal, but it'll only record it as mono. Not sure what plug-in power is. I checked the manual, I couldn't find any details on that. Headphone jack, this is your tape type switch, so normal or high bias metal. And then when you're tuning, DX and local, DX being distance, local is if you're near a really strong station, you need to bring the tuning strength down. ISS is what you sometimes see as beat skip or AM beat or beat something else on boomboxes. This is for recording off of AM. If you get interference with the IF frequency while you're recording, you can change this and it'll shift the IF frequency a little bit, I think. This switch here, norm limit or AVLS, or sorry, it's AVLS and then it's on normal or limit. That's the automatic volume limiting system. That's to protect your ears when you're listening to headphones. Basically just keeps the audio from going above a certain volume. Kind of like what modern phones have now to protect your ears. Pops up if your volume's too loud and turns it down and says, "Are you sure you want to listen to it this loud?" And I go, "Yes. You're connected to Bluetooth to my car. I always want you on max volume, Samsung. What the heck?" Going along the top, there's all your cassette controls: record, stop, play, rewind, and fast forward. And rewind and fast forward have review and cue, so when you hit play, you can hold down these and you'll be able to hear it while it fast forwards or rewinds to find whatever you're listening to or you're looking for. Electronic pause switch. Here's the radio tuning, your band switch, AM/FM. Yeah, that's better. Then on this side you've got your volume control, your speaker headphone switch, so you can actually have for whatever reason it's got a hard switch to go from speaker to headphone. And I'm guessing that's because you don't want to be listening to something in your pocket and then have the headphones pull out and then suddenly everyone hears what you're listening to. So they were nice enough to make this a physical switch. And then your 3 volts in, positive in the middle, which is nice. On the front it's got that beautiful 80s boombox aesthetic. Tuner on the top, speakers on the side. Not quite room for a cassette deck in the middle. This front is metal and it is screwed on. So there's 4 screws, 2 on the top and 1 on either side that actually hold it on, and it's actually a nice metal front. Your function, so tape, which is off right now, radio, and it's got a little indicator for your bat, so when it's powered on, that light turns on. See it there? And this record part, it also kind of acts as a VU meter. So best I can tell, it's not showing clipping, but it will flash with the audio signal. And of course get brighter as the audio signal is stronger. And I think that's just to show you that, you know, the microphone is picking up audio or this is picking up audio. And just going along the top, your tuning dial, AM/FM. Sound boost is, it's kind of like loudness on old stereo receivers. It boosts everything, but mostly the highs and the lows for that sort of V-shaped EQ. Though with these speakers, it's mostly the highs. There's a built-in microphone. And this switch here, 2 times record. 2 times record time, normal and double. This basically halves the speed of the cassette. So if you're doing voice recordings, you can fit twice as much on the tape. So it's kind of interesting. This is like a standard Sony Walkman of the late 90s, early 2000s. It's got your radio, got your full cassette. It's also a voice recorder. It's got the slow speed voice, built-in microphone, external microphone jack. It can also record off the radio, or you can use this mic jack as a mono line in. Unfortunately, it's not stereo, but it will record off the radio in stereo. So it's got that feature, and it's got built-in stereo speakers. So it's doing almost everything. And having played around with this, the one thing I wish they had included was Dolby noise reduction, because this has some wicked hiss. These speakers are very sensitive in the highs, and you have no tone control or any way to taper that off, and it really shows. I mean, they're clear, they're nice and sharp, but when you're playing a tape back and you have no noise reduction at all, yeah, it really shows, unfortunately. Which is a shame, because I love the look of this thing. It's like the world's tiniest boombox. And I, for some reason, just really enjoy tiny versions of things. So here we go. If you want to put a tape in, it actually loads from the back side. And first I just want to show what just a pretty poor home recording sounds like. It's just a random blank tape from a pile.
Chosen bound.
Of course, that's not the best example. That was recorded at a really low volume. This is just someone's that there mixtape. But if I were to get something with a little bit more sound to it, like let's get a pre-recorded tape. I won't be able to play too much of this. We can rewind this a little. And turn the sound boost on. So, I mean, on a properly recorded tape, it's quite loud. You know, it's nice and sharp, got a clear sound quality, but there's still a hiss. It's still very present. And yeah, on a good Walkman, you really do want Dolby noise reduction. So next, let's try doing a voice recording. So I'll just rewind this tape. See, is that rewound? Yeah. So I should just be able to hit record. So you can see the lights on. And it's kind of flashing a little bit. So if I go and talk into this, testing, testing, testing. This is a test of my voice. Testing, get that in camera. Testing, testing, testing. So this light is indicating my voice. Flashing a little bit. So if I go and talk into this, testing, testing, testing. This is a test of my voice. Testing, get that in camera. Testing, testing, testing. So this light is indicating my voice. God, do I really sound like that? Now the next thing I want to test out is recording off the radio. But we are in the basement, so first let's see if I can even pick up a station. Make sure we're on distance, yeah.
Asian men can look like they can be desirable. Why do you still think it's relatively rare in North America?
For Crazy Rich Asians when it came out, to objectify the male characters on purpose, you know.
Alright, so of course, like a Walkman, you just need some headphones plugged in. Which I guess is another big advantage of having that headphone speaker switch. You can leave your headphones plugged in as an antenna and listen to the speakers. So let me go around and see if I can find a station that's
So it
a good
never
example.
occurred to me that this was really missing.
Jazz that's gentle and informative. You'll be introduced to...
That's stereo. Okay, let's see how that sounds. It's not bad. Maybe what I'll do is I'll pipe in a direct recording at the end of this so we can hear a brief snippet of the radio recording. There's a bit of wow and flutter in there, and I'm suspecting that the belt in this is probably not in the best of shape. This is probably at least 20 years old, but I am not opening this up to change it. I glanced in there, and probably just by glancing in there broke something. It took like 3 times to put this back together because you have to line each of these little switches up. And if you don't, then one of them doesn't work. And is too much. And the little plastic clips, no. No, it's cheap plastic. It's cheap plastic that's aging, and I just need to hope that this belt lasts forever. Forever. So yeah, let's record some AM.
Think 2 men in a truck, since you know they have lots of men and lots of trucks. They'll wrap, pack, and move everything you own. With a 96% referral rating and the professionalism you can trust, the choice is simple. For a free in-home estimate, call today. We're 2 men in a truck. 2 men and a truck, the movers who care.
As Winnipeg slowly
So that was on
rejuvenates, the
ISS
staff and
1.
management at the Pure Escape are thrilled to welcome you back through their doors. After these trying times, the Pure Escape is there for
Oh,
you.
after these trying times, take a drink.
Massage designed to make you feel revived, relaxed, and
And
refreshed.
ISS 3.
Knowing all new measures have been taken to ensure your total safety. Plus, with direct billing available, feeling good. And refresh. Rejuvenates the
The choice is simple. For a free in-home estimate, call today. We're 2 men in a truck. 2 men and a truck, the movers who care.
As Winnipeg slowly rejuvenates, the staff and management at the Pure Escape are thrilled to welcome you back through their doors. After these trying times, the Pure Escape is there for you, offering...
Well, besides the fact that they're using some harsh limiting software on that ad, every time she spoke it just curbed the gain right down. It was hard to listen to. But that first commercial sounded great on this. Actually, this records off of AM very well. I don't think I needed to play with that switch for this particular station. We don't really have a lot of AM stations, and we definitely don't have a lot of strong ones. So picking stuff up in the basement here is pretty limited. But, I mean, overall, this is kind of neat. It does everything, not necessarily well, but it kind of does a little bit of everything. The 2 things I wish they would have done on here is given you this mic jack here. If this could have been stereo, so it could have doubled as an auxiliary line in for recording, and if they had offered Dolby noise reduction. If those 2 features were included, I could totally overlook the tiny tinny speakers. Because otherwise it's just very cool. Alright, recorded a bunch of stuff off the radio, and this has very strong AFC on FM. So you'll hear the stations just go beep, 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 beep right between them. And also this tuning is very difficult to get super precise with. Got to get both fingernails in there and sort of rock it back and forth. And actually what you're seeing here is another complaint. See how it's tuning and it's not moving that little dial? If I kind of shake it and then move up to meet it, sometimes, there we go, then I'll start working again. And it'll just randomly disconnect itself. So something's broken in there, and it works most of the time, but you gotta do that. Also in the recording on AM, you'll hear a high-pitched squeal sometimes, and then you'll hear me move this ISS switch to fix that. That's happening right around the 650 to 750 kilohertz range. So yeah, let's listen to it.
Quarters of a cent to 73.5.
I thought it was going all right. Found out I'm wrong when I thought I was right. It's always the same.
I'm Marjorie Dowhouse in for Spila Alpha. Stay with us. The World This Hour is next.
Better way to lead a game.
NFL Mondays. Relive classic games every week, starting at 7, 4 Pacific on TSN. The thrill of the track is back live.
To be happier.
In Winnipeg, starting now. Brought to you by Pizza Hotline. Order now. FM.
Hi, I'm Keith from Hot Panda. And I'm Chris.
Sexuality.
And tell us if you think there's this one tune that sounds an awful lot like...
And your connection to the community in Winnipeg. You can also... And on MTS...
De pionniers de la musique traditionnelle.
Some say the shift to green technologies could...
de souplesse pour gérer plus facilement.
Alright, I've made some test recordings and put some copyright-free YouTube music on it. And yeah, let's give it a try. First one is a genuine Maxwell tape, Type 1, for the highest of lowest qualities. And yeah, I'm only including this one because I just want to see what it sounds like. I don't have any hopes at all for this one. So yeah, let's give it a shot. Yeah, that was horrible. the volume was turned up a little too high, so it was pretty loud going into the line to the recorder, but whatever, it still sounded like crap. You could hear all the dropouts. Next is a not crap tape. It's a TDK. It's also still Type 1, but it should still sound a lot better than that Maxwell did. So well, I don't know. With those recordings, it's really, really hot. Like, those highs are just way too bright. And I didn't record it, but I tried a high bias Type 2 tape, tried a bunch of different things, and they all play back very vibrantly and bright on here. Now, the music I was putting on is very modern, so it's got, you know, really crisp highs. It's very defined, and I feel like this has a bit of an EQ to it, even with the sound boost off. That's really kind of boosting the treble. Between that and that Pioneer cassette deck that I'm recording on, I think this is really overemphasizing the highs too much. It sounds a lot better being played back on other machines I have. So yeah, I don't know. Pre-recorded tapes it sounds pretty good on, but for whatever reason the stuff I've been recording, it just sounds way too bright, and that's with Dolby off. I haven't tried Dolby on, but I imagine that would be intense. So yeah, I don't know. I still think it's a really neat little machine.
Chicken chest, Ashman, the one metro pizza. Daddy blues, Zuzu, Sky Juicer, Selector. Your Timmy drop it on, jam me superpower. Toss what he the one that they make.